Welcome back. This is part 2 of literal equations. Now, the problems we're looking at now are going to have very few numbers. A lot of it's going to be variables. However, the same rules still apply. We're still trying to undo what's being done and try to think about it like that. So the first equation we have, if you notice, this is the distance formula. D equals R times T. We want to solve for t, which means we want to get t all by itself. So when we're looking at this, we want to ask ourselves, what is this variable doing to the t? It's multiplying it. So how do we undo multiplication? We divide by it. So in order to get t by itself, we want to divide both sides by r. When we do this, when we simplify, these r's now cancel, and on this side we're left with t. And this becomes, we cannot reduce d over t. We write this as d over r equals t. There was one step to rearrange this. Again, we started with 3 kinds of variables, 3 kinds of animals. We're left with 3 kinds of animals. We're just maneuvering it around and changing it to a different form. It's kind of like your own bedroom. You're moving everything around in your bedroom. You're moving the bed from this side to this side, the TV from that wall to this wall. Everything's still in there, it just looks different. If we look at the next problem, this is a circumference formula of a circle. Now we want to get r by itself. We want to rewrite this equation and solve for r. So I look to see what's going on between all these numbers that are going on with r. It's 2 pi times r. So how do you undo multiplication? Again, we want to divide by it. So I'm going to divide both sides by 2 pi. When we simplify, these are identical. 2 pi over 2 pi cancels, and we are left with just r. Over here, nothing cancels. And we are left with c over 2 pi equals r. Instead of multiplying by r, we just shifted it over, and it's now c divided by 2 pi. Third problem here. We have w equals x minus y all over z. We want to solve for the x variable. Now you could look at this a couple different ways depending on where you're at in solving equations. I see that I'm dividing this by z. I have all of this over z, and I want to get rid of my fractions. So one way we can do this is we multiply by the denominator. Again, instead of dividing, the inverse is multiply by it. So I'm going to multiply by z on the right, multiply by z on the left. When we do this and simplify it, the z's cancel on the right, and I'm left with x minus y. And I'm going to put my variables in alphabetical order, and we have w times z. And we can't multiply them together except write them as w times z. Now, what is the y value doing to the x here? It is subtracting. What's the inverse of subtraction? Add it to both sides. Plus y and plus y. When we simplify, negative y plus y cancels out. We're left with x. We've achieved our goal. We got x by itself. Now, I cannot combine these because these are all different kinds of animals. So we rewrite it. wz plus y equals x. And this would be our answer. Again, we multiplied and added opposites. Same things we would do if they were numbers. The last equation. A equals 1/2 b times h. Hopefully you recognize this as the area of a triangle. But instead of writing this as area equals, we want to write this as our b equals. So we can do this in 1 or 2 steps. I'm going to choose to do it in 2 steps. What is the 1/2 doing to the BH? It's multiplying. However, I can't divide by a fraction, so we multiply by the reciprocal. The reciprocal of 1 over 2 is 2 over 1. Let's multiply this by 2 over 1, or just 2, and we end up with 2a. These 2's get reduced down to just 1, equals b times h. Again, we want to solve for b. What's the h doing here? It's multiplying. The inverse of multiplication is division. We're undoing it. We simplify the h's by canceling them. We got b by itself. We've achieved our goal. We rewrite this as 2a all over h. And that is our answer there. With these problems, especially starting out, some of you might feel overwhelmed because they're all variables. But just think back. It's everything we've done in the past. We're adding opposites, we're multiplying, and we're dividing. Hopefully this helps. See you next time.